I'm Katie Ramirez. I'm the advisor for the student publications at Harding University, and that includes the newspaper as well as the yearbook and our online site, The Link. The newspaper, how that works a little bit, the Bison produces about 10 issues a semester, so 20 over a year, and they come out, it feels like almost every Friday, even though we do have a few Fridays off for breaks and things like that. There are about 23 scholarship staff positions, and so all of our students are actually getting paid to produce their content. And so they work really hard to put out a paper that they feel really represents the student body and is also a voice for the entire campus. And that includes administration, faculty, staff, as well as students. It's important for a university to have a student newspaper because, for one, it's a great outlet for student journalists to be able to get some real-world experience, especially students who want to pursue a newspaper career when they're done with college. This is a really great way for them to get a taste of that while they're still in school. They're learning things in classes, they're learning about Associated Press style, they're learning about how to interview, they're learning about what makes something newsworthy, what makes something timely, and then they're immediately being able to apply that in a real scenario. And the great thing about the Bison newspaper is that it's not just for a grade, it's not just a class project. This is a professional publication that we have a number of subscribers all over the world, and through our online news site, The Link, we have people who are viewing our content from almost every single continent, and that's a great thing for students because it's not just a class project where it's going to a teacher, they're getting a grade, they're able to get feedback for the things that they've written. They're getting critiques. We send those that material to competitions, and they're able to hear from judges and from professionals in the field who are telling them the good things that they're doing or the things that they need to work on. So from a professional standpoint, that's a really great reason to have a student newspaper. So our new space is something I could talk about for a while. It was a 2-year process. We started working with physical resources and the Harding building team a couple years ago, and they basically let us have free reign. I wasn't sure what they were going to say yes to, and we were very lucky in that they said yes to everything that we wanted to do. And that is a huge blessing because we were in our old space. Really, it had been pretty much unchanged since the 70s. We have the pictures to prove it. And so we were really excited to get the opportunity to have a new space and to make it functional for a modern day student media staff. But we have about 26 Mac computers. We're all Mac in this facility, and we're working with Adobe Creative Suite, so we're on the cloud this semester, and that gives our students the opportunity to work, not only just in the programs that they maybe have been hired to work in, but they also are able to dabble and get experience in a lot of other programs if they choose to do that. And so having that new space has really allowed us to, just kind of increase what we've been doing and for the students to really increase their knowledge because they have a much better work environment. It's also aesthetically pleasing. We have a reception area that has couches and chairs, and that's been really nice. The students will pretty much hang out there between classes, and we end up having meetings, or we'll just talk about, even just like how they're doing in their day. It doesn't always have to be work related, and that's been a really nice thing for the staff because it's just another opportunity for us to bond a little bit in the office while not always having to do work. The newspaper staff serves in a lot of different ways. Probably the most obvious is that we serve as being storytellers. We're out there, our students are out there finding interesting stories. They're telling the story of Harding and its mission. They're telling the story of the faculty, the administration, the staff, and other students. But they're also telling the story of the local community. There's been, in fact, one of our beat reporters this semester, he did a 4-part series on just the different charitable organizations that are in the Searcy community, and he really had to even just limit it down because he had so many that he could cover. That was a great series in the fact that it was a way for the newspaper to tell a story, yes, but also to tell the stories of those who are really deserving, and to shed light on projects and opportunities that students and other community members could get more involved in. And so storytelling is a huge part of what we do. And in fact, a lot of times with student media, most of what our jobs are is to be a storyteller and then to also be an observer. In the Bible, it talks about, all the time about using the skills and talents that you have and using them for God. And that really is at the core of everything that we do. We can brag a little bit about, our awards that we've gotten and how we rank nationally. But if we're not doing things for the right reason, if we're not using our storytelling abilities to be able to further someone else's purpose and to, further the mission of Harding and God's mission for us on earth, then we're really not using our talents to their ultimate potential. And so that is something, our beginning of our staff meetings, we have prayer time, and we really try to make sure that is a focus. We're storytelling, but we're sharing stories that mean something to a lot of people, and that's a great way that they can share their faith and use those abilities that God's given them in the best way possible to glorify Him.